It's really difficult to find great executives. Spirit Consulting helps organizations find all-star executives and hire the right one using work psychology, so you can serve more customers and grow your business. To get a free quote, go to spiritmco.com. Enjoy the show.
Excited for today's guest on the show, Marta. So excited that you could be with us today. Our first question is always, who are you?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. My name is Marta Samson. I live in UK, but I'm originally from Brazil. So yeah, I'm a business coach, and then also I'm a podcast host.
Awesome. Well, that is excellent. How can you tell us a little bit, how did you get to the leadership position that you're in today?
Well, it has been a journey. I would say the story started with this dream to learn English and then to live in Brazil. I'm from the northeast of Brazil, from Salvador. And then we left Brazil to come to UK. It was all about the language, but also I had a child with me. So it was very hard, as an immigrant, to come into a country when you don't speak your language, and then you have to start your career all over again and get on the corporate. It has been a journey for me, I would say. The struggle with the different culture, with different way the people in the private sector do in United Kingdom. I believe it's quite similar to United States and Canada, but in Brazil it's completely different. I had to learn. So it was my journey. To be honest with you, it has been from to be a cleaner, to be a project buyer, and then to become a business coach. And so it's all about development, all about to believe in yourself, trust God, and just do the work every day. Every day I learn something.
Amen. Well, thank you for sharing. So, Marta, I wanted to circle back to 2015 when you had left what you had grown successful in, global transportation, to coaching and the empowerment business that you have today. What was that journey like?
The journey in corporate was fantastic. For me, it was almost like you are in a university. You had to learn because you are working with so many people that they are have a level that you don't have, and then you just have to trust yourself. And when I decided that something was this desire burning inside of me, and that I needed to do something to feel that I'm walking toward my purpose, I had just to say, like, do I stay here in this environment for until I retire, or do I just take a step of faith and then invest in myself and leave a corporate? And it was difficult. It wasn't very, very easy, especially that time my daughter was in her last year of university. And then I was supporting her because she was doing law, and then she didn't work at that time. And she said, "Mom, I can't do any work. It's a lot for me." And then when her last year, just save enough money. And then I approached to my managers, and then I said, I want to make an offer that I can work part-time. And then they look at me about why. I said, I want to invest in myself. I just feel that I just need to do something. I just need to go back in college and then to develop in myself. Especially, Chris, for me being corporate, sometimes I was not confident. Presentation was my weakness. Speaking as I'm speaking with you, I would have frozen, I would be shaking, my butterfly was all over. The English language wouldn't come out anything. I was trembling, and then I said I needed to invest in myself. So, but the people putting you on this post there, and then you feel like I think for me it was an opportunity, because every time I was in a boardroom and then they look at me, manager look at me, Marta, you have to do this presentation. I was like, oh my God, again, God help me. I would go to the loop, pray and come back and then do again. So scared. I was so scared. I was shy. I was scared. I could not speak, but somehow I delivered. The word come out. And then I felt like personal development was missing. My journey was missing back home. Was the opportunity I didn't had to invest in myself. I don't have a degree. My degree, just like I did a lot of courses. I invest in a lot of courses. I read a lot of books. This is a journey for me. And then I said, I got to do something more. So when I decided to do the coaching, was a challenge as well, because the academy I did my diploma was the coaching academy. They are the #1 in London. So they had to say, they said to all the students, you have to do 60 free sessions, and 3 sessions, the supervisor would be with you. One option, like the first one is just like, yeah, you can. They tell you, you have to adjust this and that. The second one, the third one is just like, if you can't pass, you have to pay another money. I said, no, I'm not going to pay. So I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. I had the opportunity to be in corporate working with flexible hours. I used to be in an office for 7 o'clock. I used to leave at 3 o'clock, 3:30. And then I used to coach people until 7 o'clock. I used to freeze the food because I'm married again. So I was married, and then I just have to, my husband came from work, and it's just like women, we do so much of thing to become entrepreneur. We sacrifice every single thing, but we just do because we love, with passion, with persistence. I was very persistent. Even my husband said, personal development, it's not easy. You're going through this road to be a coach. A lot of people out there, and I don't know, to feel this is the right path for you. I said, yes, I love it, but because I love to help people. I help a lot of my friends in UK who came here from Brazil, and they didn't know how to fill an application. They didn't know how to go to the GP. They didn't know how to articulate when you are, when your language, you speak as a second, you speak another language. And I always been, you got to articulate this. You feel like I freeze there in front of you, but I would not leave until I deliver what I want to. So that's again, corporate, I had to make that maneuver. And when I actually did that, I had an opportunity to go on mission to Rwanda. And I left the corporate full time with a good salary, with benefits as well. And I just said, God, I feel this is the time. And then I felt peace inside of me. I went to mission. Just a week before I go to mission, someone saw my CV online. And there is another job in engineering. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, again, engineering. This time it's design. So I work with a lot of design engineering. I went for the interview. The guy really liked me. Just before I was going to fly to go on mission, then he said, like, are you serious about this job? And then I said, I could be very serious if I could work for you part-time. And then he said, I really like you. So how about if you work 3 months full-time, and then I put you part-time, and then you stay whatever you want. I really like you. That's what the maneuver. I just started part-time, and then I started to just network and meeting people, deliver free workshop, and going to so many churches, my community, all the Brazilian churches in UK, and traveling around. And it's been like that. So I think one part of my missing point was just like, now with the technology, I didn't record all this journey from the beginning. When the pandemic hits, okay, I'm visible online. But if I had that visibility from the beginning, I think my level now would be different. But because I didn't have the confidence to be in front of the camera, doing all those videos, coaching, sometimes standing and deliver something with so much confidence, that time I had a confidence just to do one-to-one, small group, but not like being on the media. But pandemic has put me on a spot. So I said, this is the time. So I'm just doing something new. I'm recording myself behind the scenes. Something's funny. I think now I can show myself more. Before I was scared because I can be kind of fun, but I felt like, this is something to be weird, but it's not. So I'm going to be showing who this little girl from the northeast of Brazil is.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you for sharing. That's quite a wild ride. And just want to have so many follow-up questions about what you shared. So if I understand, when was the time where you had fully left, kind of burned the boats, and were fully off on your own doing the coaching business?
So almost 2019.
Okay.
So until that, freelancing hitting every way, money was not coming. Was difficult because you can go everywhere, especially like I want to invest more in marketing. I did the courses, the diploma, but one of the area I didn't understand is the marketing. You can put the money for someone to market yourself, but you should know what you really want. I was so good to help someone to plan that strategies for them, but I did not invest in myself to stop. And every time I would invest in a coach, I would invest in a coach to be more like a planning. What are the stage or something in my personal life to get to those little things, to wipe those little things from my life. But the marketing was just like, it was a missing point. And then on the 2019, and when I said, yes, I got to do this, and then I had to also look into the marketing. Then the pandemic is coming. I was like, oh my, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thankfully you had a year under your belt to be off on your own before the pandemic hit, because I would imagine that if you ended up launching in 2020, I'm sure that probably would have been a whole harder of a challenge to be able to overcome, just having launched out, kind of like burning the boats, not having any of the part-time work in the corporate work, but solely, being an entrepreneur by yourself. So luckily, grace and mercy there to be able to have that extra time to get things built up before doing that. So I would, as an entrepreneur, there's so many times when, and I don't know if it's just as an entrepreneur, but I think anytime we're taking on new endeavors, there's always that little voice in the back of your head that's saying, did we make the right decision? Are we crazy? Are we going down the wrong pathway, etc.? What was your approach for overcoming those voices and continuing on your pathway for building up your business, Marta?
It's always, it's like those time in prayer, you almost like when you had this conversation with God already know what you want. You tell us again everything, and then when you feel that it's now, you feel that something special, God does something so special, each one of us. And every time when that time comes, and then you feel like, oh, you feel it already, and then it's just it's not easy, Chris. It has not been easy for me to say to God, yes, I'm going to be doing, and then I will do it, because that was time in I think I procrastinate some of the time. I procrastinate things so much. I procrastinated to launch a podcast because I was overthinking. And when this kind of thing happened, now I think I feel that I'm trusting God more in this process, because as an entrepreneur, it's so much a thing we have to learn. It's so much, because if I don't do, who's going to be doing for me? And if I'm not stepping out to help the people who need me to be helping them, and how also I'm going to generate the money. It's not about the money, but to be in business, and they have this exchange thing. We exchanged our skill and services for this life we live in on earth. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's just like I had an opportunity. I haven't shared this with anyone. I think I shared here. It's okay. I had this email coming out from this lady. She's very successful. And then she's from Singapore. And then when I read the email, and then I felt like, is it for me? And then you see this kind of thing, and no, it's just not for me. I'm going to read it again. And then you check the person, and you're going to Google, and then you check that person. And then you just feel like, okay, maybe yes. And then I took days to reply. I don't know why. I took days to reply, because I was thinking, what you want to be in talking with me. I don't know why I was doing that. I did that quite recently. And then when I replied, so a PA replied back to me. We had a great interview together. And this lady, even after that, she doing something special for me behind the scene. And I just took a time. And then this is all for me, was thinking like, all related to when I also pray, when I also feel that God is using me. And then there's some time I hold myself, even as a coach, I hold myself sometimes, because I feel that sometimes I am not in the level. I want to be in that level, but in that I feel like, oh no, it's not yet. It's not yet that time, Marta. Just wait. I think sometimes even as to be step in as the kingdom business, they have opportunity. Maybe I haven't missed some of a good opportunity, but I needed to be more ready. I have to trust God and trust myself when I feel that's a special thing inside of me, because why did that take so long to reply that email? And then we had an amazing conversation with someone who, she just wanted to be friendly with me. She just wanted to do something special. And then I took so long. And then was the door opening. But did you see? And then Marta, was just like, oh no, maybe it's not. Yeah, this kind of thing happened.
Have you been feeling unfulfilled? You want to be happy, but just continue to struggle. One of the best ways to experience joy is by caring for the homeless. A charity I've grown to love, River of Light, food rescues 1 million meals per year for the needy in Chicago. Imagine how that makes you feel, knowing that you're helping feed children and veterans. To make a tax-deductible donation, visit riveroflightchicago.org. Again, riveroflightchicago.org. No one should go to bed hungry. So as you're kind of communicating that, just being able to have that identity as a beloved child, and to recognize that we have a higher power that loves us and wants to care for us and take care of us and provides for us for all of our needs. And sometimes, as you were communicating, you feel like you have this struggle of being able to accept that. And am I hearing that correctly, that kind of was like what was precluding you from being able to answer them, not like feeling like, oh, do I have the self-worth to be able to, connect with a lady like this of that level of status?
Yeah, it was totally. I was thinking that it was not for me yet, even on my journey. And then I have to stop this because when opportunity is coming, is because it's for me. And then also I have to, when thing is about to happen, there is always something in the process. So if I don't take that time, so it's nothing what happened? So I had to stop with this into myself. So as I empower women, especially a lot of the Latin American women I speak, and then I empower them to not to, but this was happening even to me. Even I had a discussion with my mentor, and then she said, like, you got to stop with this. This is not the first time you are bringing this into the session. So but I'm getting better.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. And I think that oftentimes our own sufferings become blessings for others. We just have to be able to walk through those trials and sufferings to be able to recognize that, so that you can be able to identify and help other people with that. And so, I would imagine that, just having gone through that yourself, of being able to have that vision now to be able to help other women, as you mentioned, like the way that your coaching business is set up, to help them to identify, where, even just having that courage and self-confidence to be able to, accept those opportunities that are coming their way. And I could see how that's kind of like a self-sabotaging thing, that you're not willing to pick up the phone, or you're not willing to answer in that way. Yeah, for sure.
I believe it. But how are we doing this? Even as I developed it myself, and then I went through so many seminars and CPGs, and then still that little thing, because of the continuation of taking out and then stepping out, we're always going to have some kind of a fear, but we cannot have let this to hold us back.
So, well, thank you for sharing some of the vices that you feel like you've had to overcome in order to run your business and run it successfully. This podcast is all about leading virtuously. Curious, Marta, what virtues you're presently working on in running your own business?
It has been a lot at this present time. It's been doing the thing God's put in my heart, doing the thing with the podcast, and I'm helping women to step out in faith and to believe that the purpose they dream of, it's just there for them. It's not for somebody else. So I think for me, doing answering your question, it's more related to that. Yeah.
So really empowering and affirming others to be able to walk into their purpose and identity. So,
yes, doing the things. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, can you give us some examples of the work that you've done, of people that, some of your clients, we don't need names and businesses, but maybe just kind of like some samples of the people that you've been able to help to empower and affirm them for the work that God has put on their hearts.
Yes, it has been a group. I run this group of coaching called Smart Women. So it's all the smart women. It's all about you to dig deeper into the things that is in your heart, what exactly you want to be doing. Some of the women in this group, they are in multi-level markets. Some of them is in corporate. Some of them just a mom at home. They feel that they are getting lost because the phase of after 40s, women tend to seek this kind of, they want to achieve something in their life. So the kids are growing up. So we had I will see if I can change the names, because I can be bad and not change the name. So I'm not going to tell a name, but it has been has been like so some of the girls who've been inside of this closet group is just women who needed to spend the time write the things down, because a lot of them, they want to be doing a lot of things, but they are not taking attention. They're not paying attention. So I'd say put the vision in a paper, takes you in the next level. Some of them, they just are running a business, but they're not taking time to look at the numbers. They are spending the money everywhere. So it's all about, even like I related the way of life. So if some areas in your life it's not so well, you're not going to feel so well. Not that everything is going to be well, but we need to have this kind of balance. So we need also to understand what area in my life I need improvement. So this was one of the things we go inside on the first week when I run the group. The group only lasts for 4 weeks. It's short, but it's very small group. It has been good. And to see that some women came in without knowing that the possibility of they can learn and they can put use some of the tools that I learn, and then they can also elevate their life, feel more happier and feel more connected to continue their journey.
Yeah, I love that leadership lesson that you just shared there. And I don't know why it's such a hard thing to do, but it's like all you have to do oftentimes is just get out a pen and a piece of paper and start writing things down, and how it can make such a dramatic impact on what you're doing, which is just, and oftentimes, I've heard this so many times from different speakers, but Zig Ziglar comes to mind that like, if we're not willing to take that first step, then chances are we're not willing to take, steps 2 through 100. And just being able to take that first step of writing it down, making a commitment to, whatever it is that we're wanting to grow in, is always just kind of like a nice, healthy next step that is tangible that we can do to be able to start being able to get that progress and have that courage and confidence in ourselves that you're speaking about. So no, I love that. And thank you also for sharing, Marta, about how just kind of like the tangible ways that you do that in working with as a group of women, whether that be in corporate or entrepreneurs, et cetera, and the way you've been able to help them and empower them. So that sounds really powerful. Marta, how can people get a hold of the work that you're doing as a coach?
As a coach, people can find me. My website, it's my name, Marta Samson. If they can find me on Google, apparently Marta Samson coming as a first. That's good. No, with the P, because some people put Marta. It's MartaSamson. There is no P, there is no H on my name. It's kind of easier. And then also my place at the moment, I found that the best place to connect with my potential customer has been Instagram. So Instagram, I'm there quite constantly. Every day I post something in Instagram, stories or just on a feed, and Facebook as well. So these are the 2 platforms I'm constantly, every day, I put something there.
Well, we'll ensure to put those into the show notes too, so that people can have those links. And thank you for the heads up around the social media platforms and your website as well. Marta, one of the new things that we've been doing in this season has been having our guests to be able to pray for our audience. And it seems, some of the themes that I'm picking up from you are just being able to go from a place of fear and trepidation to confidence and just being able to like step out in faith. So can you pray for our audience, that our audience would be able to have the same empowerment that you've had?
Yeah, sure. That's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. Father, just thank you, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with Chris. Thank you for all the listener that is listening this podcast. Lord, I pray that the message they will get it will be a starter point for them to go to the next level in their lives, whatever they is at the moment. If they are already in business, that's a new growth, a new time to scale up and then to believe and then to represent your kingdom in the marketplace. And I also pray for those who have been thinking to start something. And I pray that the message in here, they will take a step and write, pray, and take an action to start something and to trust you in this journey, Lord, and to represent your kingdom in the marketplace. I pray that this podcast will be empower people globally, Lord, everywhere in the world, that when Chris talking with his guests, be empowering people, like it is Saturn having going all over the world, empowering business owner, early entrepreneur, and people who really want to represent you in the marketplace. I pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, Marta, when you were praying for our guests, the image that I kept getting was just seeing people praying and having, seeing these prayers going up to heaven. And then, God is in essence answering their prayers by Marta Samson being able to come into these people's lives to empower them. And then the next image that I got was just being able to see these dollars, like see the marketplace that's shaping and taking place from the work that you're doing to empower these people as you're taking the kingdom and being able to help others to shift just the marketplace by bringing all of these kingdom entrepreneurs into the marketplace. So yeah, just really encouraged and inspired by the work that you're doing. And just continue to pray for you that you would be able to keep having a massive impact that you're having in these people's lives. And I thank you as well for your candor to be able to share. Not a lot of people have the confidence to be able to say, like, I struggled with confidence and I wasn't able to be able to, communicate in the way that I communicate today. And, for those that are listening that are struggling with that, I encourage you to reach out to Marta to be able to work with her to get the same, catch the bug that she's got of this confidence. And so just excited to see how this podcast blesses our audience. And thank you as well, Marta, for being on the Leading Virtuously podcast as well.
It has been a pleasure to be in the Leading Virtuously podcast. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.
Yes, no worries. We'll look forward to continuing the dialogue with you. And I'm praying that this is the beginning of a very long and fruitful relationship for both of us.
Yes, I'm praying too. Thank you so much.
Hey, Chris here. Hope you enjoyed the episode where we discussed all things going bald. Just joking. If you enjoyed the episode and the podcast, will you please subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify? Or you could also share it with a friend. That would be tubular. I hope you have an awesome day.